Kobe Bryant's career ended with a 17-65 record in the 2015-2016 season. That is not the way that you expected him to go out. This was how he finished the game. Well, not quite this. I reckon I can do it better for him. So what I've decided to do, jump onto NBA 2K16 on the mobile and alter his stats. So I'm going to alter all of his offensive and defensive stats. They're all going to be jetted up to 99. And we're going to see if in his one final season we can get him to a title. All of the runners go all the way up to the top. You're going to have to trust me that the rest of them are changed as well. I'm going to also make sure that he can't be traded. I do not want him to be traded while I simulate the whole game. That would just make the whole process completely irrelevant. So there's Kobe, 99. Why have they put 95? I don't know. I think NBA 2K is trying to screw him a little bit. These are some of his stats from previous years. He actually had, I know we all know he had an incredible career, but the numbers that he was putting up were ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And also, what's that? It says that his personality is unpredictable. I'd argue he's probably the most predictable. But yeah, so this is Kobe, and this is his squad. Jordan Clarkson, D'Angelo Russell, Julius Randle, Roy Hibbert. That's the starting five, along with Kobe. Then it goes to this is why they finished with that record. Metta World Peace and Lou Williams at the end of the bench. Yeah, no, I'm not convinced that it's going to be much better than 16 and 65, but we're going to give it a go. I'm going to simulate every single month, and I'm going to check in on the standings just to make sure things are on track. Can we get Kobe to the playoffs, and can we get him to a title? So after 2 games, we're now looking at Kobe and what stats he's been putting up. 27 points per game is ridiculous in just 2 games. It was 8 rebounds and 9.5 assists as well. That's mad. On the standings front, 2-0. Yep, that's about right. That's what you'd expect. Is that a good achievement for somebody who's a 99 overall, or in theory, injury to Roy Hibbert, but the rest of his team is just nonsense? I don't know. I don't know what the expectation level is. We're going to get all of the injuries just to be CPU adjusted, so they're going to go in and out of the lineup. Let's hope that Kobe plays an entire season and doesn't get any injuries. So we are now checking back in. We're now 16 games deep, 12-4 record, second in the West behind Golden State and Steph Curry. Yeah, that's about right. I'd be happy with that. It's already, we've already almost surpassed what happened in actuality. So again, let's just have a quick look at all of Kobe's teammates. Yeah, no good. And there's Kobe. Stats have taken a little bit of a dip. Rebounds are up, which is fantastic. Look at those shooting percentages. Okay, so can Kobe also get... So he's got 2 Player of the Weeks already. Surely that's a Player of the Month. 2 Player of the Week awards. It's got to be nailed on for a Player of the Month. Can we also get Kobe to an MVP in his final year and a championship? That's now what we're aiming for. So let's run through some of these games. Brandon Bass being out, it's not the end of the world. But I guess who do you want? Starting point guard goes down. There's just too much changeover. There's no consistency of a line. Once 2 weeks he's out. Would that ever stop the real Kobe? I'm not too sure. Let's see how it's affected the team. Standings 25-6. Yeah, for the Warriors 18-15. They've taken a hit. I'm guessing Kobe has been out of the lineup. Let's just check on Player of the Month. How did Steph get Player of the Month when Kobe had 2 Players of the Week? Am I missing something? Maybe I missed something. Maybe Steph also had 2. I imagine Steph's putting up ridiculous numbers. So on the injury front, Kobe's got a sore ankle day today. Yeah, I'm going to guess that he was probably sitting out, which is exactly why. Yeah, there you go. Lou Williams is starting shooting guard. That explains the almost 500 record. Oh, there we go. Straight away, comes back into the lineup. So now I'm expecting what we're expecting. Kind of a clean sweep of games, at least for a little run. Yeah, I know Roy Hibbert keeps going in and out. Roy Hibbert should have had a better career than he did. I'm not too sure why he didn't have a better career. Was always good in Indiana and then seemed to float around a few teams. Never really caught the attention anymore. They're in the 6th spot at 500 on the dot. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams around LA play in the West. I'm still confused as to why Kobe's got 95 as for offense when every single stat for him was 99. I feel like NBA 2K doesn't want him to succeed. Let's have a look at these. So we're coming up to the All-Star game. I'm going to guess Metta World Peace. God loves him. Yeah, I'm going to guess that Kobe was in an all-star team. Let's have a quick look. Where's Kobe at? He's on the West All-Stars. There. Okay, stats aren't great, but he still turned up. It's probably good that he didn't play all of the minutes and didn't put up bigger numbers. I mean, I'm slightly surprised. I think in real life he probably would have done, but this is simulation. Who knows? Players of the month. Yeah, Steph is 2 out of 3 for players of the month. MVP is coming his way. Let's just sim out the rest of this month. Let's see what the season looks like for the Lakers. Nick Young keeps coming in and out of the lineup. Shooter's finger. I don't think that's going to make a whole world of difference. Another player who's underperformed in his career. Oh man, we were 6th last time. We're now 7th. 29-31. We're under 500. Kings are on our tail. Grizzlies are catchable. Why are we at that level? The team that bad that a 99 Kobe can't save them. Okay, so who's missing from the Lakers lineup? Metta World Peace, Nick Young. Yeah, okay. It's not the end of the world. So going back to the stand-in, and not to the stand-ins, to the calendar. Let's whiz through these. Kobe's out 1 to 2 weeks. Oh, that's not going to help either. We're already struggling for positions. Kobe's back from his injury. Okay. I mean, it may well have been something way more severe for someone else, but I'm going to guess that the NBA 2K sim is just going to represent Kobe, make sure he flies through the injuries in his final year, comes back, and can play for the Lakers. Back to stand-ins. How we doing? Oh, 8th. This is getting worse. Oh, hang on. We've got an above. Do we have an above 300 record? A 500 record? Yes, we do. We've got a little bit of breathing space from Utah in 9th. We're dead even with, or we're just around. No, we are dead even with Timberwolves. Grizzlies aren't that far away. Yeah, I think it's going to be close in the final month of the season. I feel confident that we can get it because we've got Kobe. But again, when you look at every other player on that roster, it is not good. Let's look at Kobe's. Play for a winner. For Kobe, it says somewhat important. That can be more inaccurate if it tried. I don't know anybody in this season, certainly, or in Kobe's career, who wanted to win more than him and also be the focal point. But back to the season. Let's play out the final month of it. Let's see if we can get the Lakers into the playoffs. Let's see if Kobe can win the MVP. Let's see if Kobe can win a title in his final year for retirement. If it can't happen, the game is cursed. Oh, Jesus, 7th. We've got to be 8th. There we go, 8th. Okay, so what's our record? So the Warriors were 61-20. We are basically 20 games behind the Warriors. I'm not sure Kobe's going to be winning MVP. Purely because I think Steph's going to have this locked on. So yeah, he's got 3 players of the month already. Kobe got 1 player of the month. That's cool. February, leading up to the All-Star game. But yeah, Steph's got 3. Steph's for MVP. We're into the playoffs. There we go. Steph, MVP. Those numbers, 32 points per game. Oh, D'Angelo Russell, Rookie of the Year. Showed up, showed out. Love that. Brandon Knight, 6th Man of the Year. I like that. Defensive Player of the Year, DeAndre Jordan. And how ironic. Brandon Knight, and then followed by DeAndre Jordan. We all know what Brandon Knight had happened to him by DeAndre Jordan. Harsh.
I want to see it again. This could be as good as anyone we saw from Blake.
Absolutely.
Okay, Kobe on an all-star team, NBA first. I love that. One little nod to him just as he bows out. And he's on the all-defensive first team. He balled out this year. Not a surprise. D'Angelo Russell, first team all rookie. Let's see how this fares when we get to the playoffs. So who are we matched up against? Thunder. Okay, let's roll this. So I'm going to simulate all of these games. Okay, we lost, fairly heavily by 34 points. Yep, that's also not good. Down 2-0. Can we pull one back? Yes, we pulled one back. Absolutely blitzed them in game 3. What's game 4 got for us? Another blitz in. Perfect 2-2. Let's see how Kobe's got on in those games so far. Yeah, I mean, his numbers are hot. Looks like he's single-handedly trying to carry the load right there. OKC take it 3-2. What's this going to mean for the Lakers? Can Kobe pull it out for game 4? No. It was going to be game 6. Lakers bow out. Let's see, at least have the Thunder got... So they've got Kevin Durant, great. There's no Russell Westbrook. Okay, so Westbrook looks like maybe he's injured. So we lost to a Thunder team that didn't have James Harden, which makes sense, and also had an injured Westbrook. How did Kobe perform in the last game? Yeah, I mean, that's tidy. And the Warriors won the title. That's not a surprise either. The Wizards getting there is a surprise. That probably won't happen anytime in the next decade. So that was how Kobe Bryant went out in NBA 2K revised sim. Kobe's sliders pushed all the way to the top on all offensive and defensive. NBA 2K tried to screw him with a 95 overall offensive. Defensive was 99 overall. This is how Kobe actually bowed out in his final game against Utah at the Forum. This jump shot, sweet. So then it makes me wonder, what was the better version of Kobe going out? Was it the 2K version where his stats were on point and he finished in the NBA first team, all NBA first team and all defensive team? Was that the way to go out? Or was this the way to go out? This seems like it was more Kobe. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was the 2K sim the better way to go out? Would Kobe ever have retired if he played that well in his final season? Or was this the better way with all the fans cheering him as he hit 60 points in his final game at the Forum?